Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Super Stock Bros. My name is Ace, and today we're going to be talking about a play of the week, which was on Palantir, a stock that I love, and I made money on it both ways. I'll show you how. Okay, so first we're going to be talking about how to leverage margin the smart way. Okay, and this is what I mean by making money both ways. So first, we talked about cash secured puts a couple of weeks ago. I posted a video, and I'm going to put it in the link in the description below. And I'm also going to put another link with InTheMoney. Again, this is a YouTuber that I followed. Listen to him for options advice and stuff like this. Very good tutorial on cash secured puts. It's a long listen, but it's a good one, so I recommend it. So first I want to talk about margin, and people always down talk it. They say it's a bad thing, you shouldn't play on margin, everything like that. And I think for the most cases, this is true. Okay, a lot of people don't know how to use margin properly. They over leverage, they get themselves in a bad position. Okay, so for example, I have $5,000 in an account. I play with margin up to $10,000, and then I make a simple mistake because markets go crazy in 1 week. Palantir drops like $10 or something, and then I have to actually use up my entire margin. Now I owe the brokerage $5,000. So this is a dumb way to play margin. Okay, this is a terrible way. Don't do this. What you should be doing is you should be basically pretending like your cash is already there. In a lot of cases, it is, because if you have, say, a $10,000 in Apple or whatever, the brokerage that you're in usually leverages you out 50 to 70% of that money. So like, I have $10,000 of Apple, they'll say, hey, now you can use $5,000 or $7,000 of buying power. Okay. So this is very interesting because this is technically loaned money and you can use it. But what the brokerage is basically saying is, okay, yeah, I'll let you borrow this, but if the worst case happens, I'm going to liquidate your Apple stock to get that money back. All right. So that's always on the line. You're using your own cash. Don't forget that. Okay, and if you're over leveraging, they're going to margin call you, and then they're going to tell you to put more cash in. Or if you don't have that, well, you're in big trouble. Okay, so don't do that. That's using margin the bad way. I'm talking about using margin the good way. So let's clear that up right now. Next up, we're going to be talking about how I played the dip. Okay, so now I'm going to pull up a nice chart here of Palantir. This looks especially nice after what happened on Friday, and as we're going into demo day, which I'm very excited about, not only just for the stock, but also for the actual technology. And this is why I love the company to begin with. I'm a technology guy. Palantir, it's top tier technology, and we'll see in the demo what I mean, hopefully. And let's see how it goes. But honestly, this is a 10-year hold in my opinion. But I'm going to be looking for opportunities like what I just had, and I'll be telling you about it in a second. So, okay, so first Palantir. What happened somewhat recently? All right, so let's zoom in here. Palantir was accumulating for the last few days, and actually all through basically November, December. People were expecting it to rocket, drop back down to 22, like actually it went down to all the way to 2250 or something like this, right? So yeah, it dropped pretty heavy. And right around this point, January 6th, I thought it was ridiculous that the stock was so low. People were giving a lot of love into the other companies like, the EV stocks, Neo, stuff like that. And hot money is just flowing everywhere. But Palantir is, like I said, a very good hold. And it was a direct listing, so it was actually very cheap to begin with. And there's a lot of hesitancy to buy this stock just because, they have the kind of sketchy things going on with some of their clients, like government, spying network, stuff like that, right? But at the same time, they're doing a lot of good in terms of surveillance. You do need surveillance. If it gets to be too much surveillance, that's when you know you have a problem. But I think Palantir is generally doing a good thing for society. We'll see how that plays out over the years. Hopefully they don't become like a corrupt company or whatever, but I really do like them for the long run. Regardless, I thought 23.50 was a very, very low price. And in fact, I thought it was so low that I decided to put a cash secured put. So remember, my rule, cash secured put, and this is not just my rule, this is a lot of people's rules. Cash secured put, if it ever dropped to 21, I actually want to buy 1,000 shares of Palantir. That's what I was thinking to myself. I do have the money on the side in one of my accounts right now. So it's just kind of sitting there. It's just dry powder because I'm saving it up for the Roblox IPO. But I thought to myself, hey, if it happens, it happens. I'll buy Palantir up at $21 with 1,000 shares. So instead of actually buying the stock, like setting a limit order and hoping it falls to 21, what I did was I sold the cash secured put. All right. So what did I do? What was the play? Well, so you can see January 6th, I sold 10 puts at $1.79. So that means that I got about, after commissions, $1,767 for these cash secured puts. Okay. So this was the account. This is the amount credited to me. All right. I got this amount immediately. And now I just had to wait it out to get to 100% in order for me to fulfill this total amount here. So basically, I had to wait for it to expire, which the expiry date is February 19th. So this is still ongoing as of this recording, which is January 23rd. Now, you'll notice that after the stock went up on Friday, because guess what? It shot up. If you look at the most recent date here, it shot up to so it shot up 25% in one day, basically. And it went all the way to 32. Now, I was kind of expecting this with the demo coming up, but I always firmly believed that this was going to happen regardless. And you know what? I actually believed that this cash secured put was going to expire regardless. And if it didn't, like I said, worst case scenario, I buy 1,000 shares of PLTR at $21. Well, now look what happened after that big pop. Of course, if it pops, puts are going to be worth a lot less because it's very unlikely to hit $21 now. So these puts are going for less of a price, and that means I've already achieved 83% of the value that I sought out to achieve, which was 1,767. So this was the 83% play. I didn't even have to have Palantir shares here. I just had to have margin. So that means I had to have a long term in my margin account, and then I had a loan value on it. So I had buying power of about $5,000 was good enough to achieve this trade. So basically, if I had $5,000 just sitting there, I could have turned $5,000 into $1,400 in a matter of 16 days. So that was it. And that was the play of, I don't know why I say play of the week, but I'd say the play of the last couple of weeks. I actually also do have Palantir shares, so I'm making money on top of that. That's why I said making money both ways. So I have 200 shares on one account and 300 shares on another account. So you know what? Palantir is doing really very well for us stock bros. And like I said, I believe in the stock. This is a 10-year stock. I can see it going all the way to 100 within 10 years easily, very, very easily. Already you have price targets at 75. So this is a triple up at the very minimum. That's what I personally believe. I think it's a great stock. I say 10 years. That's way too far out. It's probably 5 years or even less at this point. But you know what? Let's hope it gets there sometime soon. And I'm going to be selling cash secured puts all the way up, and probably accumulating more shares as time goes on. If it dips a little bit more, I'm going to be buying in more. So, you know what? Let's hope for a good demo. And to everybody that's in Palantir, great job. Let's keep making those gains. And to those people who are not in it yet, strongly consider it. You can follow me on my journey. This is not any advice that I'm giving here, but you can just follow me on my journey if you like as well. So, all right, stock bros, that's it for me, and let's make those gains.